I ain't telling no lies, I just run it up. Never let a hard time humble us. Double up. I ain't telling no lies, I just, yeah. I ain't telling no lies, I just
5, 4, 3, 2, that's time. I got to you that morning.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Good morning, Sis Batabile. All right, I see we have a bit of a connection problem. That's okay. Thank you for everyone for being here and for tuning in. This is That Money Franchise Stokvel, the Think Ownership series. Actually, this is the Think Ownership series. This is not Stokvel. But I will be bringing in some updates, some of our Stokvel updates. First of all, let me just say that we are on week 12 since we launched That Money Franchise Stokvel. And we have so far raised 1.7 million plus. And this is all from members who are in group 1 and group 2. So this is all the amounts combined. It's been quite a journey. 12 weeks. Now, the next thing for group 1 is to, call the formation meeting and make sure that everything is set up properly for the co-op. Balisa can just add onto that. And then group 2, we are left with 15 spaces. So if you are not part of any group right now, I mean, we want to wish you luck in making sure that you still have space by the end of the month, because 15 spots is not really a great number. So if you have your money ready, if you have your 3,000 ready at least for the first installment, please make sure that you join so that you are not left behind in all these endeavors that we are venturing into. Ladies.
Hello, Mbali.
How are you? I thought I was talking by myself. Are you guys here? Balisa, your volume is a bit low.
Can you hear me now?
That's much better. If you can just if you have your headsets on, just move your microphone closer. That'll be fine.
Okay.
All right. Are you good, Balisa?
I'm all right. I'm good. Are you good?
You know what? I'm all right. I'm great, actually, because I'm excited. We only have 15 spots left for That Money Franchise Stokvel Group 2. I was just saying right now, obviously, we've done quite a lot in the middle of 12 weeks, and that's 3 months.
Yay.
And it's great to see the growth. It's awesome to see the growth. We're standing at 1.7 million as a collective.
Yay. It's so exciting. It's so great to see people
It's so exciting. It's
to own this.
Yes, people want to contribute. Balisa, if you can just make sure that your mic is not tampering with anything there that you are doing, because I'm picking up a bit of a background noise. But yeah, it shouldn't be a problem if you're standing still.
All
right. So, any new updates on what's been happening with That Money Franchise Stokvel? Any new updates that you want to give us?
So, firstly, thank you to everyone that is really cooperating. Thank you to everyone that is joining.
Yes.
Thank you to the members that are currently into this with us. It is a long journey of learning. We're all learning, but most importantly, we are taking action. And we can't wait to reach our milestone, and we would like to encourage each other to keep on depositing and until we get the full capital so that we can get one franchise out the way. I think for me, I'm just saying I can't wait till we own a franchise as a collective. We are going to show people that it is possible to work together, it's possible to collaborate, it's possible to use community capital, and we are the ones who are able to do it.
Yeah. So just to let everybody in on what we're talking about today. So Balisa, she's the financial education officer for That Money Franchise Stockfell, and Ubatabile, who will be joining us shortly. She is the chairperson for That Money Franchise Stockfell. Now, both these phenomenal women have written books, sharing their knowledge, imparting their knowledge with the world. You know, they weren't selfish. So we're happy about that, and we're just gonna dive in a dip. We're just gonna dive in deep, just a little bit, into their journeys from idea stage to executing the work, and then at the end putting together, inside a book for us to have all this knowledge. And I think, Palisa, first let's just introduce your book first, because I mean Batabula is not here yet. Stockfells, how they can make your money work for you. And I've said this before to you. The most, catchy line for me there would be, South Africa has a secret weapon, and that secret weapon is derived from the informal economy. And it used to be more informal than it is now, because, well, with what we're doing ourselves with That Money Franchise Stockfell, trying to formalize the Stockfells, turning it into a cooperative so that we can participate, so that we can do things such as buying into franchises. So, Balisa, do you mind walking us into your journey just a little bit, how it all started, how you got to starting Stockfells, how they can make your money work for you?
Yes, so Stockfells, the book that is my baby.
Yeah.
So it's actually turning a year old end of this month.
Yes, it's been a year since you launched.
Later, it has been a really great surprise on how great this book has done.
Yeah.
Considering the name, it being Stockfells, which was quite a battle, I'll tell you someday about, because Stockfells is already such a well-known concept, and it's being viewed as to be used for this specific thing, and mostly for groceries or just saving. So in the book, I divulge into so many things that Stockfells can be used for. And funny enough, I write quite a bit about how Stockfells can be cooperatives. I didn't even know that I'll be involved into this project.
You'll be involved 12 months later.
Yes. I did research on cooperatives in South Africa, and specifically in Kenya, trying to compare them with how they use the Stockfell model there, and how we can use it here. So, but basically, the book is about seeing Stockfells beyond them being just short-term savings and for groceries. It's beyond on how you can use the model to raise capital, how can you use the model to, as a community capital, to collaborate and do things that are great. And as you said, that line of that I boldly say that we have a secret weapon, but really it's not really a secret weapon, but it is a very strong weapon in our economy because of how much it contributes in our economy. It is a 50 billion industry, but it is not penetrating enough. So that's why I'm saying it's a secret weapon that we can actually use to penetrate the economy. And with that franchise Stockfell, it's actually going to prove that.
Yeah. I realize that I still have the old numbers, from stats. They haven't been updated, and I guess Balisa, it's up to people like you. The last time I checked into the worth of the Stockfell industry in South Africa, it said 44 billion, and I think that information is just about. It's 50 now. Yes. Woohoo! We are tapping into a gold mine, guys. I mean, clearly, we are tapping into a gold mine. And yeah, I like to agree with you. Mostly our communities. Let me just check on Batabile a bit. Batabile, are you there?
Hello, hi, ladies.
Hi.
Hello,
Let's just do a short intro for you, because we're about to go on. We weren't sure when you were coming in to join us. So, guys, Obatabile is a multi-franchisee with over 5 years experience. She's a serial entrepreneur who has a proven track record of securing over 7.5 million in funding to set up franchises, her own businesses, and also Obatabile, she's strongly rooted in in township economic transformation. So your recent book, how you made money, borrowed money from the bank. So let's talk
Hi.
about let's talk about your book, Batabil. How I started my business with 1 million from the bank. Um, Walk us into it. What is it all about?
Thank you so much for the opportunity. And it's exactly like that how I
Yes.
started my business with 1 million rand from the bank. I
Mhm.
got funded by NEF to start my first franchise about 5 years
Mhm.
ago. Yeah,
Okay.
so I've realized that a lot of us sometimes we don't have enough funds and we are taking our
Yes.
own personal funds to try to start up a business. And in most cases, some of the business they fail because of not having enough resources in the business,
Yeah.
which the resources, the major contribution will be funding,
Mhm.
you know.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I've decided to share my journey to say, you know what, it's not that we must only start with our own money because as entrepreneurs, we are not just starting
Yes.
businesses to create jobs for ourselves. We are
Mhm.
starting a business whereas we should be able to create jobs for our communities. So
Yeah.
now, if we are creating jobs for our communities, I looked into how is the best way to do it. And for me, I found that having partners like your financial institutions really helped me. So I decided, you know what, let me share my journey because I meet a lot of entrepreneurs with good
Yes.
business case studies,
Yes.
but a lot of us, we are also sharing the frustration of not having enough funding to run your business.
Mhm. Mhm. And I mean, you know, what made you legible to get access to that money? Because the majority of our problem as entrepreneurs, you know, from the township, it's either we're not registered as a business, we do operate as a business, but more on a survivalist nature because the business is not registered, so we cannot access funding, we cannot access opportunities, and maybe some of the perks that formal businesses get when they
Mm.
are recognized as businesses. So, how did you get access to that money?
For me, it was just to understand early to say, because when I was doing my research, because when I
Mm.
wanted to start a business, we know from school, you will be told if you want to do something, you must research. So I
Yes.
invested my time into researching to say, how do we start these businesses? And I realized to say, when you want to start a formal business, because I made a decision to say, I'm not going to just start a side hustle. I've been having side
Mm.
hustle now.
Mm.
It's about time that I scale up. So that when
Yeah.
I decided that it's time for me to scale up, I started with the research and I realized the requirements for you to run a formal business. So funding came secondary, not that I was gonna
Mm.
wait for funding, but funding as I was
Yeah.
researching, I realized an ABCFD, registered my business with CIPC, gotten my tax clearance, opening my bank account, and so forth. Then I there was a question to say, how much funding do you need to run your business? So I
Mm.
realized, so, okay, now I need to write my expenses to say, how will I start this formal business? As soon as
Yes.
you start, talking on the financial matters, now a lot of information comes up. So if information on funding, accessing funding also came up. So I realized the procedure that I'm doing to formalize my business, which will benefit my business to grow. It also lead me to access that funding because there's some document that
Mm.
I need to have as a business because you know formalizing your business is not only for the purpose of getting funding, but as soon as you hire people, you need to understand that you must comply with labor department
Yes.
so that should
Yes.
there be
Yes.
injury at
Yeah.
work, how would you be imagine somebody, God forbid, dies inside your business, how would you deal with that?
Yes.
Should
How
they
do you cover
steal
yourself?
equipment? How do you cover yourself? Should they steal equipment in your business? Because robberies happens every day. They could
Yes.
clear all your computers, all your printing machine if you're a graphic designer. Now, how are you gonna survive that? I realized that I needed to have an insurance for the business. And even with the insurance for the business, they need some documentation so that they are able to insure your business. They will need some asset listing to say what do you have in the business, how much is the value, such things. So
Mm.
I've decided what. So now I realized the business that I wanted to study, it needed money that I didn't have enough. So through the
Mm-hmm.
research, I got the opportunity where I was introduced to different financial sectors, both
Yes. Yes.
private and government. So I decided, you know what, I will take the first route of engaging the government institutions, which I went to speak to NEF, National Empowerment Fund. So that's how the journey started with me to acquire funding.
Mm, mm, mm. And I like that you emphasize strictly on accessing information, and it's important for local entrepreneurs to understand that um, the information doesn't always come to you. Futhi, maybe I'm wrong when I say it doesn't always. Information does not come to you. If you don't get up from where you are and say, I have a business, and you tap into the market where your business, you see your business operating, you don't talk to the people that are operating businesses that are similar to yours, then you are working in a silo. You are hardly ever going to make it forth. Now, with what we've done with the Stockfell is that we're bringing everybody together. Everybody must contribute meaningfully, and when you contribute and I contribute, then I care about what is going on in the
Yeah.
business as well. I will contribute meaningfully. I will protect the business, and I'll make sure that the business scales. So thank you for that, Batabile. Back to you, Palisa. Um, Guys, you can get Balisa's book. If you, where can they get your book? I know obviously they can email info@bilingoholdings.co.za for a quote. Where can they order your book, Balisa?
They can order my book from info@palingoholdings.co.za. If you
Okay.
want a copy, it's available there from 200 Rand. My book
Mm-hmm.
is also available at Exclusive Books, Bargain Books, and other leading bookstores and online.
Mm-hmm. Let me just say that since the launch a year ago, Opalisa has had to reprint twice. So
Yay!
so this is progress. It means people are actually hungry for the information. They're consuming the information, and the only reason that they don't have it is because they don't know that it exists. So the reason why we're here is to let you know that there is information and it is out there in abundance. It's just a matter of you looking, tap into communities, and ask people what they're doing so that you can get involved as well. And then Palisa, you did say in some of your previous interviews that Stockfells have previously been more about consumption than ownership, and we are trying to cancel out, the idea of servitude. We are owners now in our own spaces.
Mhm.
Has that changed much since a year ago, since you launched the book?
Yes. I think as much as Stockfell's this old traditional format or initiative that's been used, people haven't used it really for investments or ownership. Partly because of lack of information or also the gatekeeping that is out there in terms of Stockfells being able to own things. So you almost have to maneuver around the financial system or find other ways of getting a entity that will allow you to own part of the economy as a group.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's not that people didn't want to, they were just
Yeah.
conditioned because of how things were. They were just conditioned to saying you can only save and get the 2%. You
Yes.
can only buy groceries and get 2%. So in my book, I actually details into there are so many opportunities you can get into as a Stockfell if you formalize yourself and you formalize your structure and your
Mm,
processes
mm,
to
mm-hmm.
enable you to be able to own as a group. So as you
Yeah.
said, research is very important. Putting in the work in finding information and finding
Yes.
gaps is very important. There won't always be books like Stockfells. See what I did there?
I see what you did there.
That will tell you where are the opportunities to do this as
Yes.
a group. You as a person who's really interested in working with other people have to do your own research and find the
Mm, mm,
information and
mm.
find ways on
Yes.
to collaborate. Gone are the days where you can able to do a lot alone. We can do so
Yeah.
much
So
together
much
when we
together.
put together. And with the third franchise Stockfell, this has already really proven we're such a diverse
Yeah.
group of people, and we're learning so
Mm.
much from each
From
other.
different
And
backgrounds in different cities.
yes, and we really are taking away each strength from each person, which will make us bring a great product to the
Yeah.
economy. So that really
Yeah.
excites me.
Mm. So you're saying that stock fells are gradually moving to owning the spaces that they are consuming, or the
Definitely.
products that they are consuming. Okay. All
Definitely.
right.
I've always said, though the industry is so big and almost 95% of it is consumption based, even if we
Mm-hmm.
can change 10% of the
Yes.
industry in the next
Yes.
5 years to be more ownership focused, to make more investment focused, we would have done our job.
Yeah.
The next legacy or the next generation can take over. At least we would have started the foundation.
Cool. Cool. Um, Sis Batabila, back to you. I just want to say, if you'd like to order Batabile's book, please visit batabilemoreki.com, www.batabilemoreki.com, to buy yourself a copy for $2.99. The book is called How I Started My Business with 1 Million from the Bank. Unlocking a township economy. So, Sis Batabile, you work a lot with, township-based businesses. What I like about you and what I've seen is that you literally help the local guys, the informal guys, the small guys transition from a place of having no infrastructure, from a place of having no solid business into helping them formalize, helping them recognize themselves as a fully fledged business that can trade and make profit and pay taxes. Correct?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my mainly drive now with the business that I started, which is a mentorship business where I'm helping small businesses to grow. My focus is mainly in the township businesses because if we've
Mm-hmm.
seen in the township we've got good business case studies, but they hardly grow to their full potential. Yeah, so in my book I need to make a correction. The book is 195, ne? Yeah, so
195.
yeah, the book is 195, not
Okay.
299. Yeah,
All right.
so that's the whole aim so that we can be able to create jobs in our communities. I've started a business in a township and it did very well because a
What
lot of
did you
people I
start?
think
What business was this? Sorry to cut you.
I started, it was a franchise business. I started a franchise business about 7 years ago, 2013. And people thought, yo, this business, the product that you are selling, because
What
it's
were you
Bonus Pizza.
selling?
So, guys, I'm not trying to promote any brand. I'm just
Okay,
sharing
that's
so that
fine.
people can relate. So, the
Mm,
business that I
mm,
started was Bonus Pizza. And it's not really
mm.
a, a cheap brand, if I can say that. But the product is very good, the quality, and
Yes,
it's worth the price.
yes.
So a lot of people were amazed to say, you know what, in the township, this brand won't survive because it's too expensive.
Mm,
But I was amazed and overwhelmed by the support of the township people buying the brand. So to show that in
mm,
the township,
mm.
we've got the money, we've got the means, and the more we can create such formal businesses, now the economy in the township can grow even further because
Yes,
we'll
yes,
be able to
yes.
get people to be full-time employed, you know,
Yeah.
being able to earn the basic minimum salary because once your business is formal, you need to abide by the standard and the laws to say you need to at least be paying minimum wage salary. So people
Yeah.
they will be able to afford even more. So now that's how we can even be able to circulate the money in the township. Imagine I'm in the township owning the business as a black entrepreneur. Now black
Yeah.
people coming to support my business. So that's how I've hired people from the community. So when we are talking about creating and circulating the rent, it's about time that we actually live it, not just talk it in theory, because we see the big brands coming to the township. They live
Yes.
with that money,
Yes.
literally. So
Yes.
they live with that money because they don't even
Yeah.
stay in the township. Because people that I've employed in my businesses, they reside in the township. So they pay
Mm.
rent to the local landlord, which is our parents, our relatives. that are renting out rooms to them. So now they are able to also give income to our family member. So that's how now the rent can circulate. Our family members can take that money and go and buy at the local tech shop. Unlike if only the owners that we've seen back in, like, in what we are having now. A lot of businesses in the township that are doing well, that are formal, that are creating jobs, are not owned by black entrepreneurs. They are not owned by the community members. So for me, that's the drive that I'm trying to do, to say, if we can have a lot of um township entrepreneurs residing in those communities being the one
Yes.
also creating the jobs, then we will see the true meaning when we are talking about the township economy and also transformation.
Yeah.
Because that's why you can see, even with our Ethag Stokvel, we are not franchise Stokvel. We are also trying to transform the industry. The franchise
Yes.
industry is still
Yes.
white dominated industry. So now we are the main consumers, but we cannot even own some shares. So now we are feeling that let's use our joint powers to also invest and get ownership.
Yeah. Yeah. I really like what you touched on last one there, that, we are consumers of these brands. Um, but it's taken us so long to actually realize that no, we can also play in that space. As much as we are consuming, we can pull in resources to put together so that we are the ones who are distributing at the end of the day. And I mean, with outside businesses coming into the township, Batabile, has that caused that much of an instability for the smaller guys? Does that disturb their business in such a great way that at the end of the day, these big businesses, like, you can find abo Kota Joe, right? But when Krispy Kreme comes and starts making sales, does that not hurt our local brand, or that's not even where our focus should be?
Yeah, no, it does, because lately we've seen big corporates like your Shoprite coming in with the tech shop model, whereas we still have small tech shop that are still struggling. But now when
Yes,
Shoprite comes with
yes.
their big buying power, therefore their prices will be lower than the local guys. So that's exactly that what we are trying to assist, to say, let's also have, we don't mind some of the brands coming in into our township,
Yes,
but
yes.
we need to see more of our community members also having ownership, also being part of the value chain, the distribution. If a Shoprite is coming in the township, who's doing the installation of their trucks, who's working, like bakery,
Yes,
we've got a
yes,
good
yes.
a source of suppliers in our township, like Bogoto Bakery, which in Soweto. So can they also get opportunity to be one of the suppliers in the
Yes.
Shoprite, a tech shop, to not only Sasco delivering bread? So that's what we are trying to say, we need inclusive economy. We need
Mm-hmm.
transformation in our economy.
That totally makes sense. Here's a comment from Musileboko. Townships have so much value to offer, and only black entrepreneurs can solve those problems successfully in a meaningful way without being extractive. So yes, guys, let's get out there and solve our own problems. I like what you said, because you know what Shoprite did when they rolled out their Spaza model. They were like, we will give the smaller guys a chance to come. We'll give them space. We'll give them shelf space. So if you're a Spaza shop and you'd like to partner, you'd like to find ways to partner, come and join us, so that we are not the only ones taking over. This industry. And for me, I feel like that was just a plaster on top of the wound, because you've already set up you've already set up shop within the community, as the biggest Shoprite enterprise. Maybe, let me say, Emaponya, you will find a Shoprite there. Now, it doesn't help if Shoprite is going to set up a Spaza shop now, separate from the Shoprite, because now then they're tapping into another stream of income that serves a certain number of people. And if you're taking away from that, and obviously you will, because you're offering value for much less rands, so it will disturb the economy somehow. So I like what you said when you say, in a collaborative and inclusive way, these big brands need to find ways that they can collaborate with locals and bring value to everyone who is involved. All right, back to you, Palisa. um, now, previously Stockfels were about, I found out from one of your interviews as well that people had Lobola Stockfels. Um, People had have credit card Stockfels.
Mm.
You know, since we're talking from moving from consumption to ownership, what other stock files are actually being set up to benefit people, and ours being a franchising stock file, one of its
Yes.
kind.
So,
What other stock files are out there that we're not aware of? They're like
mm,
medical aid, things like
yeah.
that.
So but you excite me when you talk about such things because people only think we are just talking and we don't do. And then
Mm.
now I have proof what Stockfels are doing.
And that's why I brought you
Amazing.
here.
When people gone are the days where people are gonna be thinking Stockfels and they associate us with only groceries or 2% interest in the bank. There are really Stockfels that are revolutionizing the industry in a major way. One, the People's Stockfel. The People's Stockfel is going to be a CFI by the end of this month. That is a Stockfel that is turning into a bank in simple language. That is number
Yes,
one.
I like this language. You're talking money, guys. Like, I'm getting
We
excited.
always talking about how Black people should own their own bank.
Transact,
There's a
transact,
seminar
transact.
after seminar. We are walking the talk and we are so proud of it. I cannot
I
wait
like that. I like that.
until Reserve Bank says, hey, here's your license. Because for me, that is the start of saying it can be done. We are a
Yes.
CFI. We're going to be a cooperative bank. We're going to be a
Mm-hmm.
mutual bank. And guess what? In many years to come, we're going to be a commercial bank. And it all started with the Stockfel, the one that people like talking about as if it's just a grocery. For me, that is the story.
Joe.
So for me, that is one of the greatest stories that is going to be coming out of this year. Banking disrupted.
Awesome.
Secondly, I'm going to come into that because that also excites me in the top 5. And please, Mbali, do note where these industries are. These are major industries in the economy. Banking is what's holding our economy, for example. Then there is a property Stockfel that is really doing great things out there. Saki Sizwe, they are doing amazing things in terms of allowing people to own properties and having passive income. I know they are launching a trust this month. That's another form of a legal entity that Stockfels can go into. So that is also going to be a great example of ownership. It's in the property space, another essential area in the economy. From Stockfel, once again, thirdly, there is CrowdFarm. CrowdFarm is a group of great, amazing guys that are in farming. Free Farm Capital, they are raising capital from the community, from the people. They're going to be financing farmers, and they're doing amazing things in the food space, and what they're going to do even more amazing things in the future.
Yeah.
Another critical economic area there in agriculture, something that holds also the economy. That's also the power of the model of a Stockfel, or the power of crowdfunding or community capital. And then we have third franchise Stockfel, retail. So I'm talking about banking, retail, property, food.
Yes.
Those are
Yes.
real sectors that are
And
going to be
there's
owned
Ellen
by
there
the
adding on
people.
to pottery. Sorry.
Yes. So those
yes.
are the key sectors that people are going to have a piece of, and people are going to be really participating economically, and most importantly, really impacting communities. And we really are. Who are we waiting for? We are the people we are waiting for. It's us.
Yes, we are. Absolutely.
So those are the 4 main Stockfels doing the things, revolutionizing the economy, and not just with talk, but with action.
Nice. You've given me some pretty exciting news. Like I even like lost my trail of thought now. I'm thinking about that bank money. And it's great that it's our people, it's us, and I'm pretty sure there's people watching right now who contributed into the people's Stockfell, who are just like, yo guys, that was us, like in 2017, 2018.
Yes,
That was
and
us.
actually this month, Bali, we were having our formation meeting in September. 3 days ago, it was our 2-year anniversary. Yes, so it's been a back and forth with Reserve Bank, but finally we are seeing the light.
But it's happening, and it's the collective power of the community, guys. So let's keep contributing. Ganjalo, ganjalo. Just before I wrap up, Balisa, please just highlight for us, if anybody had to buy Stockfells, how they can make your money work for you today. What would you like for them to take away?
Firstly, the power of us as people working together. Secondly, how we can put our financial resources together to really impact lives. And imagine doing those two things while having opportunities for a return or opportunities to make money. So for me, the best thing I wanted that person after they're reading the book would be like, wow, I can impact, but at the same time, there's so much opportunities I can do working with each other while making money. So you're killing one bird with two stones, whatever it's called.
Yes, two birds with one stone.
Yes, 2 birds with one stone, basically. For me, those are the greatest investments that you can make when you are reading the book. If you're not going to be impacting somebody and your financial life doesn't change, at least you'll be getting opportunities on how to.
Yes. Thank you for that. You guys can get Balisa's book titled Stockfells, how they can make your money work for you, by emailing info@balingoholdings.co.za. And then, please go through with that order and make sure that you have the information, because, we are moving, and we're not moving with people who don't have the information. We want people who are, at least got some bars to share when we get there, because we're navigating this journey together. Now, it helps if somebody from that walk of life and that experience and that knowledge, and when we come together and make something meaningful, at least we can help each other grow. And then right back to you, Sis Batabile. I'm just going to read this comment. I'm not sure if you can take it on. If you cannot, to Musala, we will respond just after the live stream, after the team has a look. He's saying, I think a co-op is an appropriate vehicle for what we want to achieve. For starters, co-ops exist for the purpose of offering a service employment to its members, and its income is not distributed to members according to their shareholding, but on how they transacted with the co-op. Since a huge number of members are not going to be involved in the co-op, this does not meet the objective of the co-op. A private company is, in my view, the best alternative, since there is no limit. Comments on that. So so Umasala is definitely saying we shouldn't be going the co-op route. We should.
And he's giving us the PTY route, forgetting that the PTY does have a limit of 50, and there's 100 of us. How are we going to do that?
And there's 100 of us. Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Remember, the main reason we're going with the cooperative, besides the principles of the vision of what we are trying to achieve, is the fact that co-ops don't have that limitation PTYs have of 50 people. So let's do research. There's very great cooperative examples, especially in the Afrikaans community, and then let's talk after you come from those African communities.
Research, Papa.
Tell us how did they do it so nicely.
So in essence, transitioning into a co-op allows us to trade in that space safely. He's saying there's no limit to shareholding in a private number. Okay, you know what, Musala, we'll engage you when you have the buzz. Sis Batabile, right back to you just before we wrap up. And I want to go back to the work that you do, with the smaller guys, with the smaller brands. This week I saw you with I think it's Litokonola, that guy who's selling bread. Um, and I just want to say, I love watching initiatives like that because, in my space, when I started my very first business, I only had myself to walk through. Nobody was there with me to say, no, man, information in la. You can read as many books as you want, but you do need somebody who's in that space, within that space. And I didn't know where to find these people. So maybe you can just share where people can find your services and what else you can do for small businesses in terms of helping transform the economic, the township economy.
Yeah, so with me, I think that's the element of the business service that I give. I also give
Yes.
support in
Mm-hmm.
terms of also accessing the market and ensuring that you've got enough capacity building. So as an entrepreneur myself, I worked through the journey, and I think I was fortunate enough that I had a franchisor with me working out. So I realized to say, you know what, sometimes you just need to have somebody who you can relate to and be able just to pick up a call and say, you know what,
Yes.
something is not doing okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
somebody
Mm-hmm.
with the interest in your business, they will actually be working with you in that interest. Like now, Boroto is one of the businesses that I met, and I really like how he started and how he's growing. So just by going to his business, what I did during the week, I shared his story. And through just sharing his story, I've been getting people say, you know what, when I'm in Soweto, I didn't know about this business. When I'm in Soweto or I stay in Soweto, I'll go pass by and buy to show to say
Mm-hmm.
sometimes
Mm-hmm.
your market is not only people that are surrounding you,
Yes.
market might be people that I know. So with the
Yes.
businesses that I work with, I assist them with access to market and also give them business support, because sometimes when you're an entrepreneur, you are alone. You are the HR, CEO, accountant, you are
True.
everything. It's
True.
overwhelming. It's too much for you. We only have 8 hours in a day. On normal days it's from in the eight to five. Then
Yeah.
after that, we are just waiting on awkward hours, and you might not get responses or assistance that you need after hours. So it's
Yes.
very nice to have people that can just be thinking of you to say, you know what, let me just come by your shop or your business and just see what's happening. And if you're noticing that, you know what, you are lacking something here, how about so somebody who can just be there and help you achieve your results better,
Mm-hmm.
without even you
Mm-hmm.
sometimes having to ask. Because
Mm.
guys,
Mm.
entrepreneurship journey is a very long journey,
It is.
because even
It
in
is.
our family, as much as we can have family support, but sometimes it's not enough, because sometimes our families don't even understand what you're trying to do here. you
Yeah.
know so you need people
Correct.
that can just have that interest to be able to walk the journey with you and not make it
Yeah.
that lonely, and just kind of try to assist you wherever you need help.
Yeah. 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 I like that. And if anybody had to take away anything from the book, I don't want to give away too much because the book just came out. It's about 2 weeks old. But if anybody had to read the book, what would you like for them to take away from that? What's your grand message?
For me, I just want to my message with the book is to say, you know what, guys, we've been doing side hustles forever.
Yes.
This thing of us every
Yeah.
day, every year,
Yeah.
we are side hustling, but we
Yeah.
don't really
And you
see
can't
what's
be a
happening.
startup forever.
No, we can't. And remember, the other important message that I'm trying to share with the book is that
Mhm.
we cannot, in our township, we know Abuntate Mkwena who started businesses, tech shops 20 years ago. We cannot expect to start like this. You know,
Yes.
starting with that hardship struggle because you are trying to prove your idea which is existing. We don't have
Mm.
to be proven to each other. You need to start where I ended. If Batabila started the business today with 1 million rand, next year when you start a business, a smaller business that look like Batabila's business. So you need to read my notes, understand where I started, understand
Yes.
where I am, and
Yes.
start where I am. You cannot now start again from how I started, because now we
Mm.
are trying to reinvent the wheel. But at the moment, unfortunately, there's no time now to be. I was just reading that the stats that came out that unemployment rate is at 33%. We are now desperate need of small businesses to
Yeah.
create jobs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now we are
Yeah.
not only starting a business for yourself to survive. There are so many
Mm.
support we've got now. With the start initiatives, they can able to fund you with your contract. they can be able to
Yes.
give you support,
Yes.
connect you to the right
Yes.
people. So I started, I didn't know about that back in the day. So now
Mm-hmm.
with so many resources, we've got commercial banks, we've got government institutions funding you. So whatever that you need, any business, as long as it can address the right thing of job
Yes.
creation, is able to
Mm.
make
Mm.
income.
Mm.
We should now be understanding that we need to create firms, not only
Yeah.
side hustles and startups.
Yeah.
We need
Yeah.
businesses.
Yeah, we need actual businesses because, from if you're just operating in your home, it's fine. You can employ yourself, because you're self-employed, and you can employ your cousin and your sister. But when you start thinking like a real business, you're giving at least 8 people a chance to come make an income, while helping you grow at the same time. So through giving value, you getting value back. So if we start thinking like that, if we start looking at growth like that with that mentality, I think we're going to scale much faster. And I would like to end it there for today. Thank you so much, ladies. I always enjoy having our talks. And for me, I love it mostly because, you are women and you are black like me. And I do learn a lot from you. Having people like you in my ecosystem keeps me, on the loop. Am I doing enough? There's women who are right here next to me who are doing great things that I can look up to. So thank you, and I'm pretty sure that it's not just me. There's other black entrepreneurs, female entrepreneurs who are looking at you, and they appreciate the things that you do. And yeah, let's just keep on growing. That Money Franchise Stockfile, you will have your updates the last week of the month. Remember, we are sitting on 1.7 million with all the groups combined. Group 2 has 15 spots. Yes, Group 2 has 15 spots left. If you're going to join before the end of this month, please make sure that you have your 3,000 rands paid. The amount, the full amount to be paid in order to be a part of the stock file is 15,500 rands. Ladies, do you have any parting shots?
Thank you so much for having us, Mbali. This is always great to talk about this, and it's so great that women also are owning these spaces and are represented, because representation really matters.
It matters. It matters.
So thank you so much. I learn a lot from all the great women, also like you, Mbali and Batabile. Oh my goodness, I've learned so much about franchising. I really appreciate that. I would like to just encourage our members to keep on contributing so we can reach our milestones. And the most important thing is we want to see this really happening. We want to to show that this really is possible while we are learning at it. So let's go.
Sis Batabile? Okay, I'm gonna say goodbye on her behalf. Oh, she's here.
Thank you so much. Yeah, no, it's been such a learning curve, and I'm hoping that our members also are gaining the same knowledge, because for such transaction, it's not just about contributing money, but sharing the skills and the knowledge.
Yes.
So I'm urging everybody to also read the documents that we share with them. It's not only to empower them through our own Stockville, but it's a knowledge that they can take and go and duplicate in their communities. They must go back, if you are from KZN, and say, hey, here's the how we started in Joburg, because most of us now we are based in Joburg. Then they can start something, and then they can come back to us and say, guys, we've got a group of 50 people in KZN. We would like you to assist us. Then we can now duplicate this in different towns. We want to be seeing such initiatives in the likes of Urumani, in the Northern Cape, in Northwest Taung. It shouldn't just be opportunities that just end here in Johannesburg, and we are only developing Johannesburg. We need to go back and develop an Emakhaya. So I urge all our members to go back to where they come from and just also mobilize people in their communities. They can come back to us. We will be glad to offer them support to also get them started.
Yes.
So we've got a challenge, guys. 100. We are doing 100 businesses in the next 5 years. So as much as we'll be doing Jerusalem challenge next weekend, remember we need job challenge. So I'm I'm
Yes.
challenging every member to say, you know what? Can we
Creating jobs.
all start and help to this job creation?
Yes, and splitting the wealth.
Thank
Thank you
you,
so
Vali. You've
much,
been
guys, for
amazing
joining.
on the show.
It's been great. It's been great. And I just want to say, even if you're not going to join our Stockfile, do go to our link, where we get the info pack, and download the info pack. Um, Start familiarizing yourself with the things that happen in the background and what we're actually communicating, so that the next time when when you take over those 198 more franchises, because we're on two now, when you take over those 98, you at least have that information, and just get educated. Yes, let's catch up again next week, Friday at 11 o'clock. Thank you so much for being here. Think ownership always.